costs. Protect your energy at all costs. And that goes for everything, right? Look, your phone, most importantly, is where you need to really pay attention and block out that negative, media that you're consuming and all that. The people, you know what, when you first wake up, I wouldn't recommend using your phone for at least 2 to 3 hours. 2 to 3 hours, airplane mode, turn it off. Don't delete social media at night. Download the app Freedom. It blocks off your an IP address that won't even let you connect to stuff for a certain amount of hours. You need to protect yourself, right? If you look at the screen time that you guys have, we're so quick to listen to people say, oh, remove certain people from your surroundings in person, but nowadays people are spending more time on their phone than they are dealing with real people in real life. And then people don't understand how they feel. They still feel so sad and so overwhelmed, and they don't feel like they're enough. It's because behind a phone, you can have a completely different identity than what you really are and what you really have. So people might be living this lavish life, and it's making you feel bad. If you have to unfollow people that are making you feel low and making you feel insecure, unfollow them. Unfollow them while you work on yourself, right? It doesn't, you have to protect, you don't owe anybody anything. You don't owe anybody your energy. Because when you're laying on your deathbed, it doesn't matter what decisions you made prior, so make sure that you're making the right decisions. It doesn't matter whose feelings you hurt in the past. If they need an explanation as to why you did it, explain to them that you need to protect your energy. Or if it's a celebrity, unfollow them. Who cares? They don't even know who you are. But you're going on Instagram, you're going on Twitter, you're going on all this, and you're looking at these people with these lavish lifestyles, and your energy, your vibrations are so low because you're comparing yourself to them, which most likely 9 times out of 10 isn't their real life, or they're just showing you the good stuff. They're just showing you the good stuff. So now you feel like, oh man, this 19-year-old kid is already a millionaire, and I'm 25, I'm still living at home, or I'm 30, I'm still living at home. Why even try? And listen, you might listen to the words I'm speaking right now and say, man, who thinks like that? I'm like, you got this hard-headed mentality, but not everybody thinks like you. I used to be the same way, oh man, come on, don't be a bitch, don't be this, part of my language. But listen, you got to understand that not everybody's brought up the same way as you, not everybody's cut from the same fabric as you. So listen, people go through it. Mental health is not something to be played with. So not everybody is as tough as you, or you might think of yourself, because think about the times where you feel like you're at a low point. Right to somebody else, how would you feel? Somebody's like, man, stop, cut it out. If something's really bothering you, you got to protect your energy. You're on your phone at least 3 hours a day, probably checking it. So if you're on Instagram scrolling, you're entertaining all the haters, especially if you're on your purpose, especially if you're building yourself up. You're going to deal with that. You're going to deal with friends throwing shots at you, throwing sneak disses. Listen. You need to fall in love with the person in the mirror. Make that your closest friend. Make that your best friend. Who cares if people say you're conceited? Who cares if people say you're cocky, you're arrogant? You're just, no, people could put a title on you, because to somebody you could be arrogant, and to somebody you could be the most humble person in the world. You walk into a room full of 100 people and you got 100 different personalities. Trust and believe that. So don't let anybody make you shift your personality, because they will. People will make you shift your personality to match what they like. Right? They have their preferences, so they're going to shift. If they're dealing with you, they're going to try to shift you to make you be what they want you to be, so they're most comfortable, so their energy is complete. So don't change yourself. Don't. Listen, if you have character flaws and you recognize it, yes, work on them. But when it comes to loving yourself, people are going to call you arrogant. People are going to call you this. People are going to say you that. Who cares? Listen, I used to let it get to me. All this stuff I speak from experience, or I see happening. And I understand. Everything I say, easier said than done. But if I plant the seed, you work on it. Like I always say, right? At least you know you're not going through it alone. I remember the reason I started making these videos was because I used to I used to talk to people, and when they were going through something similar that I thought I was the only one going through, I was like, yo, you don't say. But now I realize we're in this together, but just not a lot of people speak on it because they feel like they're alone, and they feel like people are going to make fun of them. I don't give a fuck, Keisha. You can say what you want. Like, I'm going to speak on this, and the reason I'm so hyper right now is because I still got a little pre-workout in my system, and I took a lot of bang, you know what I'm saying? But I'm very passionate about this. And regardless, you can, if you don't like me, whatever, you can say I'm this, I can say I'm that. At the end of the day, I'm going to speak, and if I help you, I help you. If it hits you a certain way, rubs you a certain way, it is what it is. I'm going to speak. I'm going to continue to do so. I'm going to continue to be me. I'm going to continue to be elite, build myself, whether you like it or not. So it is what it is. If this helps you, please reach out to me. Like, you don't have to know me. You don't have to know me personally like that. If you feel like, I can offer you advice, I can help you. I'm by no means perfect, but I'm here for you. And this is just what I do. This is what I love to do. When they say find your passion, when they say do this, do that, when I hop on and I'm making these videos, this is what I love to do. So this is what I'm going to do. Stay woke. I'm out. Happy Wednesday.